Welcome to the Morning Report, a production of fightbackmedia.com, the #1 source of urban conservative information in America.
Well, good morning, good people. This is the Morning Report from fightbackmedia.com. My name is Willie Lawson, and today we're going to talk about something that the legacy media hoped you wouldn't notice. Countries are lining up, not to criticize Trump's economic policy, but to make deals with it. Yeah, you heard that right. Turns out when the United States decides to stop playing global sugar daddy and starts protecting its own economic interests, folks around the world suddenly get very, very interested in negotiating. Who would have thought? Let's dig into this. Earlier this week, Katie Pavlich over at townhall.com dropped a piece that should have been front page news across every media outlet. Well, if these outlets weren't allergic to giving Trump credit for anything. In that article, we learned from Kevin Hassett, President Trump's top economic advisor, and the man currently leading the National Economic Council, that countries are lining up to negotiate tariff deals with the U.S. Not complaining, not protesting, not running to the UN or throwing a tantrum at the G20, lining up. And folks, this isn't a few backroom diplomats or some trade reps looking for lunch. Hassett says it's gotten to the point where managing all these requests is actually a logistical challenge. The Trump team is swimming in offers from nations willing to bend over backwards to get fair trade agreements on the books. Because, well, let's be honest, when America enforces its economic power, like the actual superpower that we are, people around the world pay attention. And they don't just pay attention, they pay respect. Now, Trump's critics, especially the globalist elite and the media class, screamed bloody murder when he imposed tariffs on foreign goods. They say that it was going to start a trade war, crash the economy, alienate enemies, and destroy the free market. But folks, here's a dirty little secret. Right? We are already in a trade war. We just weren't fighting back. Trump's tariffs didn't start anything. They exposed it. They shined a big old made in America spotlight on years, no, decades of lopsided trade deals, foreign subsidies, and backdoor dumping of cheap labor goods into the US market. And so, okay, now what? What are these countries offering? Well, according to Hassett, they're not coming in empty-handed. They're offering concessions, real ones. We're talking about lower tariffs on American goods, improved trade balances, and even a willingness to negotiate long-standing agreements that haven't favored the U.S. Industries or workers in years. This is a sea change. This is a sea of change. Take South Korea, for example. Trump recently got on the phone with their acting president and laid it all out. Trade balance, military cooperation, tariffs, the work. And surprise, surprise, South Korea listened. Why? Because Trump doesn't make threats. He makes moves. That's how you get leverage. Not by begging for cooperation, but by demanding respect. You see, the globalist model told us that the US had to play nice, and when everyone else was playing dirty, that if we push back, we would lose influence. That if we put America first, somehow we'd be last on the world stage. What we're seeing now is the exact opposite. By putting America first, other nations are lining up to cooperate. They're not offended, they're impressed. They're not backing away. They're stepping forward because they know that under Trump, if you want to access American consumers, American dollars, and American innovation, you better come to the table with a fair deal or don't come at all. All right. And let's not overlook the strategic angle here. These tariff talks aren't just about economics. They're about geopolitical leverage. Trump's America doesn't give away trade deals like candy at a parade. Every agreement is a chess move. Countries know that, and they're adjusting. That's why you're seeing this flood of interest now. Nations are realizing that they've had a free ride on America economic back for too long. And the ride is over. Now, if I can speak plainly here, this is exactly why the establishment hates Trump's trade policy, because it forces accountability, because it dismantles their cozy international order, because it proves you don't have to sell out your country to be respected in the world. You just need a spine. So, where does this go next? That's the big question. There are people who are worried about Trump securing a third term. I am not one of those people. I think it's all going to be done this term. If it's not all done this term, it'll be done by his successor. Is that J.D. Vance? I don't know. I don't think so. Could it be somebody like Ron DeSantis? Very, very possible. But anyway, expect more America First trade policy, more manufacturing returning to our shores, and a whole lot more groaning from elites who built their careers outsourcing American jobs. But for the American worker, for Main Street, for you, for me, this is good news. We finally have an administration that understands power and isn't afraid to use it for the people who actually live here. All right. We're going to leave it right here for now. But I'll be watching this closely as these negotiations unfold. So if you want more of this no spin, common sense commentary, be sure to subscribe to the morning report on fightbackmedia.com, on Rumble, on YouTube, or wherever you get your dose of truth in a world full of spin. And hey, if you're tired of America being treated like the world's ATM, you're in the right place. We're not here to apologize for American strength. We're here to celebrate it. My name is Willie Lawson. And until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We'll see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.